Hello once again, and thanks for staying with us. So students in various institutions of higher learning across the country are marching on the Higher Education Department. This follows Minister Nzimande's decision to dissolve the NSFAS board. In fact, Nzimande says the decision is part of interventions that are meant to improve organizational efficiency at NSFAS. Student Financial Aid Scheme Board, that's NSFAS, I beg your pardon. So let's continue with our reaction and bring in our guest, the Ikusasa Student Financial Aid Program CEO, Morne du Toit, who joins us now via our video link. Morne, it's great to see you. Thanks for your time and patience. In some ways, some people may say this decision was a long time coming, but I wonder whether you reckon it was the right one.
Good morning, Ayanda, and good morning to your viewers. You know, it is definitely, as you say, something that has been a long time coming. With we know last year the CEO was dismissed, and then the board chair went on a leave of absence. An acting chair, acting CEO, a lot of challenges in terms of accommodation payments, etc., that really affect students greatly. So yes, not unexpected, totally unexpected. And let's just hope that this very drastic measure will once and for all ensure that the challenges are addressed and that the systems and processes are fixed, so that students, at the end of the day, which should be at the center of this scheme, gets the support that they deserve and that they need to be successful in their higher education studies.
Yeah, and in some ways, Morne, it feels like we've been here before. I mean, this is not the first board to be dissolved at NSFAS, so to speak. And I wonder whether or not we can start speaking about a trend here of people who are being appointed, who are either not fit for the job or simply are unable to fix these long-standing issues at NSFAS, which go really all the way back to the, I suppose it was 2016, 2015 fees and roads must fall movements across various institutions. Is the minister appointing the right people, I suppose, is part of the question?
I think that, Ayanda, that you know, one doesn't want to sit on the sideline and criticize, but at the same time, we've all seen the immense challenges that the scheme has faced and the dire impact that it has on students. At the end of the day, you know, it was quite encouraging to see Professor Lawrence van Staden being appointed as the acting board chair. So he certainly comes with a track record of successful administratorship at Walter Sisulu University, amongst others. And perhaps, and we will have to wait for Sunday, but perhaps the minister will bring him in now as the administrator, giving him all the powers that the board and the CEO has to, like I said in the introduction, to really hopefully once and for all fix and clean up things so that we can have this scheme functioning properly and effectively to the benefit of our young South Africans.
Yeah. You know, it seems, at least from where I'm sitting, that at the heart of the issue, well, I should say at the heart of the long list of issues, is this decision to essentially have, I call them middlemen, disperse these funds to different students. It almost seems that students themselves have an issue with this. And it was ironically an intervention that was introduced to try and improve efficiency at NSFAS. And needless to say, it seems the impact has been anything but.
Absolutely. I think that there's no doubt from where I sit that the whole process of appointing these new service providers and the way it was done is a great contributor to where we are sitting today. Very unfortunate that, you know, like you said, something that was intended to actually improve things have actually had completely the opposite effect, and have caused immense pain and inconvenience to students. We can only hope that those decisions will now be reversed, and as the students are calling for it, and rightly so, and that we will find an effective and efficient way to properly pay and administer those monthly allowances, which are so critical to students, you know, for their day-to-day survival.
Absolutely. And, you know, what used to happen is that NSFAS used to allow the different universities to disperse these allowances. The process was then centralized because we found out that some universities are not doing it right. And it seems that in centralizing this, you've almost made the issue a national problem, right? And I wonder, in our reimagining a way in which we should do this, whether it's time to allow the universities to once again take over the process, because they were universities who were doing this properly.
Absolutely, and I think we heard earlier one of your contributors in the interview stating exactly that, you know, that they didn't experience problems when it was actually administered by the universities. You know, and I do feel sorry for the universities because they are always at the brunt of these issues, you know. Often when these things go wrong, students don't go and protest in front of the NSFAS offices or in front of those private provider offices or in front of the D8 offices. They often protest at the universities, and the universities are often left to find emergency solutions to these issues. But I do think that, you know, that is certainly one of the options that need to be looked at very seriously, whether we can go back to the universities, whether universities are willing and able to take on this task, and then to rather maybe fix the 1 or 2 or 3 universities where there was problems in the past and assist them to get those processes and systems in place to be able to deliver on those monthly allowances properly.
Yeah, you know, as you're speaking, I'm reminded of a decision by the president to sign a proclamation that essentially allows the SIU to probe NSFAS. And I suppose part of the questions that remain largely unanswered is just how deep the rot here runs, given how much time has passed. I mean, this was in August of 2022 when the president signed this proclamation. I wonder if you reckon we're getting any closer to actually answering that question. Just how much is dysfunctional at NSFAS?
I do think that we really need to be serious about these investigations, you know, of very serious allegations of misconduct, particularly as it relates to the awarding of these payment contracts. This was exposed by, you know, you remember the recordings that was exposed by Outa last year and the subsequent a leave of absence of the then board chair that we see yesterday has now officially been removed as well. We need to get to the bottom of these issues. You're right. You know, we're talking about a 53 billion rand budget here. This is a significant contribution that the South African taxpayer is investing into the youth of this country. And they deserve to be completely comfortable that this money is well managed and that any misconduct is properly investigated and acted upon. So I can only hope that whatever processes were put in place by the board subsequent to those allegations will be properly completed by competent law firms that were appointed, and that the reports will be made public so that we can see as the taxpayers what really happened there. And hopefully this administrator, like I said, coming in as a clean broom, would really deal with these things decisively.
No, fair enough. Morne du Toit, thanks for giving us your take on this. Morne is the CEO of the Ikusasa Student Financial Aid Program. We appreciate your time.